and today I'm the man with the yellow hat, and I'm bringing my favorite friend George here because we're making a dessert with his favorite fruit, bananas.
Hey y'all, today we are making a no-bake summer dessert. We have 2 birthdays in the house this week, so we need a dessert to celebrate those birthdays. And we are part of a collaboration, a summer dessert collaboration. We've been tagged by our dear friends at Whippoorwill Holler, and I think that collaboration started with my Alabama home. And today we're going to make a no-bake dessert like Little Music Man told you, with his favorite friend, Curious George's favorite fruit, bananas. And today we are going to make banana split cake. So y'all stay tuned. You're going to love this recipe. Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways, the channel where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. I'm Miss Katie.
And I'm Mr. Patient.
And I'm John Boy. I'm Little Miss Homemaker.
And I'm Little Music Man.
And we are the Heritage Ways family. We have 6 children, 2 daughters-in-law, and 2 grandchildren. But the 3 adult children have flown the coop. Now, that means a lot of birthdays in our family through the year. But August seems to be full of birthdays, especially our extended family, aunts and cousins and grandparent and everything. But in this house, who, you can guess what 2 special people have, well actually 3, but 2 this week, I meant to say. 2 people this week have had birthdays. Happy birthday to us, right?
Happy birthday to us.
John Boy and Mama.
Happy
Dad will have a birthday later in the month, at the very tail end of the month.
Yep.
But we'll have a different birthday video and a different cake to share with you for his birthday. So this week we are making a birthday dessert because we didn't have one on our birthdays a couple days ago, did we? All right. So today we are making banana split cake. It is a no-bake, so you don't have to heat up the kitchen. But it does involve several steps. So like the story, the little hen that baked the bread, I'm going to need people to help me if you plan on eating it. So who would like to help?
I will.
I says the duck. I says the cat.
I says the real red hen.
Okay. This is not a difficult recipe. It does require several steps. So it's not terribly fast. But you know, as my Aunt Coco used to say, many hands make light work. So let's get started making our banana split, no bake, birthday cake dessert.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You will need about 2.5 cups of finely crushed vanilla wafers or graham crackers. That'll be a whole box of vanilla wafers, but not quite a whole box of graham crackers.
Mighty John Boy has crushed all of our vanilla wafers. 1 box equals a scant 3 cups of crumbs. Do you know what scant means?
Barely?
Barely. Good. So we're going to call it between 2.5 and 3 cups of crumbs. I'm going to give you a link down below in the description box, and you can just click on that and go and get a printable copy of what we're doing today. I will have notes and options and things in that printable document for you. So I have 1.5 sticks. This is organic, unsalted butter. So stir this without getting, you know, anything out of the pan. Keep it all in the bowl. Start from the outside and stir in. He's going to get all that mixed together well. Now, you don't really have to grease your dish. I'm going to talk about the dish in a second. You don't have to grease your dish because this is going to be a greasy crust. But since I already have a butter wrapper and it's got some butter on it from where the butter sat out and softened, I'm just going to take advantage of that. Anyway, we have just, with a butter wrapper, it didn't cost us anything as far as buying spray, and we've successfully greased that dish. Now, about the size of your dish, this calls for a 9 by 13. This right here I think is a 9 by 11 or 12. I don't have my glasses. 9 by 11. So this is going to be this is the only thing I have available right now, so it's going to be a little bit taller than it would be in a 9 by 13, but the measurements we're giving you are for a 9 by 13 dessert. All right, is that finished up?
I think so.
All right, can you put it in there while I throw this away? Get it all out. Mama, Mama doesn't like to waste things. So you're just pressing this in there. If you want to press it up the sides, you can. That's optional. If you want to just press it all, not up the sides, you can do that. So obviously we're going to have a thicker crust. Why?
Because it's 2 sizes smaller pan.
Well, it's 2 inches, shorter. That's right. Now, if a person wanted to make a nut crust, you could do that too. So, all right, that is it. We're going to put it in the refrigerator while we're working on everything else. Now it's time to make our filling that goes on top of our vanilla wafer base. That's Mr. Patient's job to whip up the filling. At 16 ounces, 2 bricks of cream cheese. You can use the low fat or the regular or the fat-free if that's what you want to use. But I typically don't use any fat-free dairy products myself. But that's a discussion for another day. Also, a half a stick of butter, which is 1/4 cup of softened butter. And the cream cheese is softened. We're going to add the 16 ounces, or we're going to cream the 16 ounces of cream cheese, the half a stick or 1/4 cup of butter. When that is all creamed, then Mr. Patient's going to gradually add 3 cups of confectioner's sugar. Let me tell you a couple of tips about this. First of all, if you don't have a sifter like I don't in my current home, you can just take a colander like this. This antique one is one I use for this, and just beat it against your hand, and you have your sifted powdered sugar. The reason for sifting is, yes, to measure correctly, but my main reason is so you don't have lumps in your filling or icing or whatever you're making. And then you measure it after it's been sifted. So we will measure 3 cups out of this silver bowl. Confectioner's sugar is also known as what?
Powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar.
X sugar.
Right, 3 X's. And why is that? Because powdered sugar is granulated sugar put in a blender, blended 10 times the powder of granulated sugar. It's powdered 10 times down, and that's what you have here. So you could put granulated sugar and maybe just a shake or 2 of cornstarch in a blender like our Vitamix, and you could blend it down and make powdered sugar if you didn't have it.
Okay.
Also, it's called icing sugar in other countries.
I didn't know that.
All right. You learn something every day. Now, after that, we're going to add vanilla. You can add 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to add, I've got about, 1.5 teaspoons that we're going to add today. And that's just what I chose to add. You can add 1 to 2. I am using today my homemade vanilla. And this is what it's made of, this Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey that I picked up on a trip to Kentucky a couple of years ago. You can make vanilla, and I do have a recipe. Where's the recipe going to be? Tell me. One of these?
Right up here.
Okay. I do have a recipe for homemade vanilla. Actually, that recipe is this exact same bottle that I made over a year ago. And it is, I made it before we sold our home and moved. Incidentally, let me add here, we haven't always lived in this current tiny home situation. We did come from, we did sell a home that had an extensive pantry and so forth, and so you can visit our website or visit YouTube, and you can see a bunch of different videos about our home and a pantry tour and all kinds of things having to do with cooking and kitchen and that particular house. So anyway, I invite you to kind of explore our YouTube channel and find those videos. But I'm going to sift this. If you'll beat that, I will measure out 3 cups for you, and we'll have our filling.
All right.
Okay, we ended up adding 1 egg. As I said in my recipe, when I print it out, I'm going to make some notes for you. We made this recipe the other day, and we made it a little bit differently, and we did use the egg the other day. I think my original recipe calls for 2 eggs. Remember, this is not going to be baked. So if you're not comfortable using the egg, then there are some other options, and I will note those in my recipe as mentioned. I use eggs I trust. You can use pasteurized eggs from the grocery store, or you can use pastured eggs that you trust, that you chickens you have yourself, or somebody you trust. So just do your own research on that. So
We need to drain 1 20-ounce can of crushed pineapples, and we need to save the juice.
Okay, so what are we doing now, buddy?
We are cutting the bananas and putting them in the pineapple juice.
Okay, why are we putting them in pineapple juice?
So they don't churn colors.
All right. So, that's a good tip. We're putting them in the reserved pineapple juice. Now, I feel like you're doing it a harder way there.
I like it this way.
So you're slicing it and then you're peeling each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that takes longer. Watch out for your... Let's go ahead and slice it for safety's sake. I think it'll be... I mean, not slice it, but peel it, okay? I think it'll be safer. Because you won't have...
Look, I took the peeling
I know, that's an interesting way to do things. You go through life doing it your own way, don't you? Doing life your own way. There you go. Now, if the bananas are green, what does that mean?
It means they're not ripe yet.
Yes. So somebody told me once upon a time, if it won't bend at the stem, you can just easily peel it from the other end. So what does it mean if they're ripe? It has more what?
Sugar.
Sugar. Now,
I'm slicing cherries in half, and that'll make a good garnish for our cake.
the whip topping. Okay.
We're getting closer.
I know. All right, 3 options you have here. The other day we made one with this whip topping mix. This worked very well. It tasted good.
Yep.
I used to, back in the 70s and 80s when I was learning, well, in the 70s when I was learning to cook and a young girl, this was called Dream Whip. It still is called Dream Whip as the brand name. I don't know who makes it, but anyway, this is the same. It's whipped topping powder that I actually bought at an Amish bulk food store. All right, you're supposed to use this powder equal parts mixed to cold milk or water. And yesterday, the other day, when we made the same dessert for another event, we used cold water. 1 cup of cold water and 1 cup of this powder. Wasn't that right?
Yeah, and it tasted fine.
Yeah, and it did taste fine instead of using the milk. So this is just something, I show this to you because it's something you could keep in your pantry if you are homesteader or prepping. And, you know, if it came to a situation where you wanted something sweet and you couldn't get to the store or didn't have whipping cream or whatever, this is an alternative. Also, you can use Cool Whip,
Yep.
or that's the name brand, but whipped topping stuff, frozen stuff in the grocery store. I personally don't buy that, and I typically don't buy this. I actually just bought it for this recipe. And then you could also use heavy whipping cream, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to just whip this in the mixer until medium, not soft, but a little past soft peaks form. Now, if you keep on mixing, you make butter.
Yep.
And I've done that in the past. One time. Okay, we have our crust. And if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to stand here and do it since we're kind of
It's gonna be delicious.
limited space. So here's what I do, kids. I put it in, I don't just dump it in the middle because I don't want to mess up my crust. And so I just put it in,
Clumps.
you know, yeah,
Mounds.
clumps, mounds. That's a better word. Thank you, little
And
Missy.
I know why you do that.
Wow.
It's so you can spread it easier, because if it's in the middle, you have to spread it there,
That's right.
And if you do that, you can just spread that there.
I'm about
and
to
a
spread
little
it on
bit
your
there.
hand if you, okay, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
I think he'd like that.
Now, like I said earlier, you don't have to take it up the sides, right, John Boy? I mean, the crust, I mean.
Right.
Right.
I've washed my hands, so I'm going to go ahead and put the bananas on next. Is Curious George, is this his favorite fruit?
Yes, some it is.
Okay. Does he like any other foods or just...
He like strawberries.
Hey, that makes me... You could put strawberries on here.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
I would probably put fresh strawberries because you don't want the strawberry juice from the frozen. Just, I don't think it'll do well. But yeah, you could
Yeah, that
do
would be
fresh.
good.
Now, remember, guys, I am doing a smaller pan. So I know it looks like... Actually, I'm going to take it to the edge in this one.
Well, I'm thinking about strawberries. If you think about a banana split,
Oh,
it has the banana,
Yes.
and then as far as the toppings on your 3 ice
Yes.
creams, you have pineapple, you have strawberries, and I can't remember what the third one is.
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
So I guess
yeah.
this filling, is it supposed to be reminiscent of marshmallow maybe? I don't know.
Yes.
Or ice cream. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be like the ice cream.
Maybe
Now-
the whipped topping would be the vanilla.
Yeah, maybe.
Vanilla,
I don't
marshmallow
know, but,
cream, I'm sorry.
well, no, because it has whipped topping and
There's
cherries
that
on
too.
top.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm putting the pineapple next, and I'm just using my hand to kind of spread it over here. Okay, and then next, let's put our whipped topping. Now, we will say, we've said this a while ago, but we made a batch the other day, or this recipe the other day. And what do you want to tell about the difference between this and what we did? Can you tell that?
Yeah, the one we did use the other day was more of a dream whip. It was a powder mix that we had bought at the Amish store, and you use equal parts of the powdered mix and with cold milk or cold water. We used cold water, and it worked fine. It tasted fine, and it fluffed. That's not a word.
Well, it volumized.
The volume, it had a larger volume. This time we used heavy whipping cream, and the powder mix that we used had more volume to it than the heavy whipping cream that we're using today.
It was prettier. We've got a picture here of it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you a picture of the other day's, what we made the other day. And we're decorating with pecans and cherries.
And then one
And-
of the best parts.
There it goes.
Now, you can use,
Yum.
I'm going to go back and forth like this. You can use hot fudge sauce, well, not hot fudge sauce, but fudge sauce. That's it, y'all.
You got a spoon?
No, it goes in the refrigerator for about 4 hours.
What? 4 hours?
Yes.
I wish it was 1 minute.
How about we go fishing?
How about y'all
All
go
right.
fishing?
That's a good idea.
And I'll take your picture fishing.
like
How about that?
Good idea.
All right.
Okay, let me put it in the
Let's go.
fridge. We're outside. What do we have? We're ready for our birthday dessert and by this nice Illinois lake, and y'all have been fishing.
Yeah.
You're sweaty. Did you enjoy it?
We caught a fish.
I
You caught a
enjoyed it.
fish.
We
You
caught a
caught
few.
one.
I caught a banana fish.
A banana fish.
I'm
Let's-
ready to catch this
let's-
banana fish.
Okay, let's cut this up.
is
All
big.
right. It's hard to do it without standing over it, but
It's piled high.
it is piled high.
They call it mile high banana split cake.
I'm getting it on me. It's always hard to get the first piece out of anything, isn't it? You end up messing up. Oh, look at that though.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, John and Mom. Happy birthday to you too.
And then
All right,
more.
move your hand and blow. Yay!
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Guess what? Tastes like banana split.
Does it? Well, that's a good idea. Do y'all like you like the vanilla wafer crust better than graham cracker?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I think I already have a second piece on my plate.
Does
What
that
does George think?
He says he feels sick.
Did he eat too much?
Did you? Yes, but it was good.
Thanks for joining us for the banana split dessert today.
Bye.
So today we want to leave you with a verse. It comes from Joshua 24:15. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. Whether the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord.
Thanks for watching today. You've watched us here at Heritage Ways, where we honor home and celebrate heritage and spread hope. Today we shared with you part of our home, part of our family, part of our heritage, and we hope that you've enjoyed our part of the story today. Remember, everybody has a story. Everybody deserves grace. So please, why don't you take time today to listen to somebody else's story. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Heritage Ways, the channel where we, what do we do? Spread?
Celebrate.
No, that's heritage. Honor. Okay, here we go. Let me help you get these little banana peelings off. Let's put them over here to the side. And
I eat the peeling.
okay, well, I don't. Okay, all right, let's finish slicing it up and putting it in here. Okay, you finish that up for us. Can you go the other way, please?
I'm checking for the stem.
For the stem, you mean the peelings?
The peel.
All right, this step really shouldn't take this long, but okay, go ahead and finish it up.
Smile the whole time.
Yeah, because that's awkward too.
Do we get to eat
Okay,
this one?
go put the booger somewhere. In a tissue, toilet paper. It's a big booger on his hand.